Take a slow, gentle breath. In this space of stillness, stories become more than just words. They become mirrors. If you resonate with tales that awaken insight and stir the soul, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Journey Deeper. Now let the story unfold. The loneliness beneath the obsession. Emma stood at the edge of her life, staring into a mirror that reflected a stranger. At 32, she was a marketing executive with a corner office in a glass tower, her name on awards, her face in company newsletters. Yet, each night, as the city's neon pulse flickered through her apartment windows, she felt a hollowness no success could fill. Her husband, David, was a lawyer whose quiet strength once anchored her. Now his late nights at the firm left her adrift, their conversations reduced to polite exchanges over half-eaten dinners. The silence between them was a living thing, heavy and suffocating. This is a story of love twisted by obsession, of hearts caught in a dance of desire and betrayal, and of a Buddhist wisdom that offers a path through the pain. Let's walk with Emma as she unravels the threads of her life, seeking the light beneath her loneliness. Tangled hearts in the heat of desire. Emma's world was a carefully curated facade. Her apartment, with its minimalist decor and floor-to-ceiling windows, screamed success. But the space felt cold, like David's touch when he came home past midnight, his briefcase heavier than his words. She craved connection, a spark to remind her she was alive. Her best friend, Lily, was her lifeline. They'd meet at rooftop bars, clinking glasses under string lights, Lily's sharp humor cutting through Emma's fog. "You're too good for this half-life with David," Lily would say, her eyes glinting with something Emma couldn't name, envy, perhaps, or a deeper hunger. Lily's words were a balm and a blade, soothing Emma's doubts while planting new ones. Then came Mark, the new creative director at her firm. He was 35 with a disarming smile and a voice that seemed to wrap around her like a warm scarf. Their late-night work sessions turned electric shared laughs over coffee, his hand brushing hers during a pitch review. One evening, in the empty office, Mark's gaze locked onto hers. "You're more than this place, Emma," he said, his voice low. When he kissed her in the stairwell, her body ignited, a rush of heat she hadn't felt in years. It was reckless, dangerous, alive. She told herself it was just a moment, a fleeting escape from the loneliness clawing at her chest. But moments became weeks, then months. The affair was a fever. Stolen lunches in hotel rooms, her phone buzzing with Mark's late-night texts, the thrill of his hands tracing her skin. Each encounter was a hit of adrenaline, drowning out the quiet ache of her marriage. But the cracks were spreading. David's eyes, once warm, now searched hers with suspicion. He'd ask, "You okay, Em?" His voice tight, and she'd nod, her lies piling up like unpaid bills. Lily noticed, too. Over wine, her questions grew pointed. "You're glowing, but it's not David, is it?" she said, her smile brittle. Emma laughed it off, but Lily's gaze lingered, heavy with unspoken truths. The unraveling came at the company's annual gala, a glittering affair in a downtown ballroom. Emma wore a red dress that hugged her curves, feeling Mark's eyes on her from across the room. David stood beside her, his arm a formality, his smile strained. Lily, in a sleek black gown, sipped champagne and watched them like a hawk. During a slow dance, Mark pulled Emma into a shadowed alcove, his breath hot against her ear. "Leave him, Emma?" We could be everything. Her heart raced, torn between desire and dread. Before she could answer, Lily's voice sliced through. "So this is your secret, Emma?" Loud enough for heads to turn, for David to freeze. Lily's eyes burned, her voice trembling. "I've loved you for years, Emma." "I thought you knew?" The words landed like a slap. David's face collapsed, betrayal carving lines into his features. Mark stepped back, his charm dissolving into cowardice. Emma stood alone, the room spinning, her world in shards. The obsession she'd chased had burned everything, leaving only the loneliness she'd tried to outrun. Buddhist wisdom, unveiling the root of suffering. Emma's story is a mirror for us all. We chase love, passion, approval, thinking they'll complete us. But the Buddha taught that this craving tanhei is the root of our suffering. Emma's affair with Mark, her reliance on Lily's friendship, her hope that David's love would fill her emptiness, all were forms of clinging to things that cannot last. The principle of impermanence, anicca, reminds us that everything changes. Relationships fade, bodies age, emotions shift. Yet we grasp, believing we can hold the fleeting forever. This is dukkha, the suffering born of attachment. The concept of non-self, anitta, cuts deeper. Emma's identity was tied to others, David's stability, Mark's desire, Lily's loyalty. She sought herself in their eyes, but the self she chased was an illusion, a story her ego spun to avoid facing her inner void. The Buddhist path of mindfulness offers clarity. By observing our thoughts and desires without being consumed, we see them for what they are, passing waves, not the ocean of our being. Emma's pain came from mistaking the waves for the whole. Mindfulness could have shown her the still depths beneath, where peace waits. This wisdom isn't abstract. It's practical, a lifeline for anyone caught in obsession's grip. Emma's loneliness wasn't about David's absence or Mark's allure, it was about her disconnection from herself. By clinging to external fixes, she deepened her suffering. The Buddha's teachings invite us to turn inward, to see clearly, to let go. Only then can we find freedom, not in another's arms, but in the quiet strength of our own presence. 3 ways to break free from obsession. The path to healing is not a grand leap, but a series of small, deliberate steps. Here are 3 practices, grounded in Buddhist wisdom, to loosen obsession's hold and mend the loneliness beneath. 1. Practice mindfulness meditation. 2. Dedicate 10 minutes each morning to sit in a quiet space. Focus on your breath, its rise, its fall. When thoughts of a lover, friend, or unmet need arise, don't push them away. Name them: longing, fear, regret, and let them pass like clouds. This builds a muscle of awareness, helping you spot the triggers that fuel obsession. Over weeks, you'll see desires as transient, not truths that own you. Apps like Insight Timer can guide you, but a simple timer works too. Emma began this practice after her world fell apart, finding clarity in the pause between breaths. Cultivate self-compassion. 3. Each night, take a notebook and write, "What did I seek today that I thought others could give me? Love? Safety? Worth?" Then write a kind response to yourself. "I am enough. I am worthy as I am." This isn't just words, it's a rewiring of the heart. Self-compassion dissolves the need to chase validation. Emma's journal became her sanctuary, where she forgave herself for hurting David and Lily, and for betraying her own values. Try Kristen Neff's guided self-compassion exercises if you need a start, but a pen and honesty are enough. Embrace impermanence. Set aside 5 minutes daily to reflect on life's fleeting nature. Hold a warm mug and think, this warmth will fade as all things do. Or picture a relationship as a river beautiful, but always moving. This practice softens the urge to cling. Emma sat by her window, watching city lights flicker, and whispered, this pain, this love, this moment, it will pass. Over time, she released her grip on Mark's promises and David's approval. Guided meditations on impermanence, like those by Thich Nhat Hanh, can help, but a quiet moment of reflection works just as well. This acceptance opens the heart to peace, not possession. Conclusion. Emma's life was a storm of her own making, but storms clear the air. From the wreckage of her affair, her fractured friendship, her broken marriage, she found a truth. Loneliness isn't healed by another's touch, but by embracing our own. She began meditating in her small apartment, journaling under the glow of a single lamp, reflecting on the impermanence of her pain. Slowly she rebuilt not her old life, but a new one, rooted in self-awareness. Her story asks us to look at our own obsessions. Where do we seek what we already hold? The Buddhist path is not about escaping pain, but walking through it, with eyes open and heart soft. Take a breath. Notice what stirs in you. The light you seek is closer than you think. If this story stirred something quiet yet deep inside you, pass it on. It may be the light someone else is waiting for. Subscribe for more stories where the sacred meets the everyday. And remember, sometimes it is in our breaking that the light finally enters.